Hi everyone. Let me introduce to you a friend that I call a sister that has become a sister over time. And though we were joined by the bounds of the gospel, but she became a favorite friend of mine. And we've been through the most, I can say. We've shared loves, cries, and everything. She's been that pillar of strength to me. Whenever I feel she's there, and she's also knowledgeable, lovely, kind, and she's powerful among everything. And I have many experiences with this girl, but I have this other one that we were sitting down, we're talking about how we want our lives to be, and we spoke about it, we cried about it, then later on we danced about it. Then it became this thing that it became our norm to how our relationship is bound. I would like to welcome Naledi and welcome to be on the Black Tag.
So welcome everybody to Beyond the Black Tag, another episode of Beyond the Black Tag with myself, Mao, and my wonderful, celestial, powerful MTC teacher, co-host, Jeremy Chagadama. We have Naledi Zimande Kani. All right, she's still getting used to her new surname. Welcome, Sister Kani. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you. We've been looking forward to this one ever since you accepted the invitation to sit down with us. Jeremy, do you know Naledi well?
Funny enough, I only got to meet her. So when she left in October, that was my first transfer. I just completed my first transfer mission. So we knew of them, and we were staying across the road from the sisters there here at the MTC. So we didn't, we let me say we tried not to mix with the sisters, the best that we could. But other than that, she went with Mafuni Jalo, who was my companion, my first companion. So that's when I knew. I was like, okay, well, she's going home. She's that old on mission. That's all I really knew.
That's great. Yeah, no, even me, I think that's the time I met you when you guys came to our mission. I'd never met you before. And then after that, obviously I went home. Jeremy, let me tell you a quick story before Naledi introduces herself to our audience. So these sisters were traumatizing me, right? Like I said. So I finished my mission. It's COVID. Ramaphosa decides he's gonna lock the gates or close the borders at midnight. So President Levitt gives me a call during his own conference, mind you. He says, Adam Chebile, you might have you're going home. Was it the same day? I think it was the same day or the next day. So pack up your bags, right? Because otherwise you'll be stuck here for whoever knows how long. And he didn't want that, particularly after because I finished my mission. I was serving an extension at the time. And these sisters were so happy. Imagine when I was leaving, they were like, they were very happy that I was leaving. I was traumatizing them, and then I get so we're traveling past the borders. Midnight hits, right? They start closing all the provinces' borders. But we think, you know what, it's fine. I'm sure they are aware of all the cars on the road, they don't have a problem. And we go past, out of Gauteng, it's fine. We go past the northwest. Wait.
Going down.
Okay, yeah, past the Free State, I mean, sorry. So we just go through all these different borders and people are fine, right? Eastern Cape, sharp through. Get to the Western Cape border. Yeah, no, those Afrikaans guys don't play, hey? They're like, nope, I'm supposed to be closing these gates. But guys, we have to go home, right? We understand. Then the Jairus had to explain that these missionaries to go home. Those guys are not playing those games. So I get stuck in PE. I go and serve a special mission in PE until something can be worked out. which was a great time. Same day I get there, or either the same day or the next day, the sisters call me, they get a hold of my numbers, and they're like, Alam Chobile, how do you feel? You know, you're being punished by God for your sins.
Ah, these
I did not
sisters.
say that. I was not
Yeah,
there.
you were there. You were there, and I will get all of what's the word? What's the English word I'm looking for? All the stooges that were with you. We'll get you guys one by one. You'll come to this platform and you'll answer for your sins. And
You.
so, anyways, they made me feel bad. So, anyways, I hope whatever I did to you guys, sister Naledi, that you guys you'll first confess now what it is that we did to traumatize you so much. All right, but tell the people, who are you, where are you from? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
That was like an interview question, like a job interview, you know? Tell us about yourself. And you don't know what to say because all of a sudden you don't know who you are.
That's traumatizing enough. Imagine.
It is. It is. Okay. Well, just to clear the air, Mau, we don't hate you.
Right.
Okay,
I think we just came into the MTC at a very hectic and uncertain time, and everybody was just uneasy. Maybe we were a little bit unkind to each other, but I really think you were a very cool AP. You did the right things. You set the example. And we were having fun. When we were calling you, telling you thanks for your sins, that was very fun for us. It was a very fun time. But yeah, well, my name is Naledi Kani. I recently got married actually on the 1st of March, in Joburg. Yay! And yeah, so I grew up, I was born in Gauteng for my whole entire life. And after I got married, I relocated to the Eastern Cape. So I'm currently in Eastern Cape in Uitenhage. Yeah. What else about me? I am 26 years old. Yep, 26 years old. I'm currently working as a English home-based teacher. And yeah, I love it. I am enjoying it. Yes, that's me.
How I want to. This is. We'll probably talk more about this later as well. But that the move from Gauteng, busy province, to Eastern Cape, quiet. How's that?
So far so good. It's been almost 2 weeks now. So I haven't really gotten around, I've just went to like the malls and visited some family. It's very different. The people here are more kinder, they're more involved in each other's lives, unlike in Gauteng, where everybody's just minding their own business. And yeah, so the people here, they kind of family centered. I like quiet. I like quiet. That's why I didn't really struggle with the idea of moving because yeah, Gauteng is hectic, especially if you've lived your whole life there.
That's interesting. Because I think one of the biggest differences between Gauteng and the Eastern Cape, and I'll even include the Western Cape, is a conglomerate of cultures and peoples in Gauteng, right? Your neighbor could be speaking Zulu, and right next door to them they could be Xhosas, and right next to them they could be Ndebeles, and it's just a whole. People from Joburg often are able to speak multiple languages, and now you're thrown into the Eastern Cape where it's Xhosa, it's deep Xhosa. How is that? Because I mean, I guess it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm sure you felt it a little bit. Have there been a lot of like Makoti vibes? Have there been a lot of like just like hectic things that I expected of you, and just hearing
Yeah.
this Xhosa. But yeah, Makoti is apha. Masiphathela amanzi. It's none of
Wow. I think
that.
that time is coming. So I don't know if you know the Xhosa culture where they nxibisa you, the Makoti attire. And then I think that's when they do the whole, hey, come here, serve us water and stuff like that. But yes, number one, the language. My goodness, I cannot hear half the things they're saying most of the time. Like, I'm Zulu, so I can understand this Xhosa. But like when they're now fluent and flowing and having this conversation, and you're just like, okay, I don't know what you guys are saying, but okay. And yeah, but I haven't experienced the Makoti side of it so much. Yeah, yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Shem. I think it's still coming, isn't Mau?
I know it's coming.
It,
It's
it
coming.
is.
Of course. It's
It's coming.
for now it's just Hashem. They're like, oh Hashem, none of us just came from work. They're trying to be nice. It's gonna come. Once they settle in and
Ooh,
they are comfortable with her, then she's gonna feel it.
I know, hey. Yo, but let's see. Let's see if you are ready for this life. And this is based on this next question of, where did you serve initially? From when to when did you serve? And what is something that you learned from your service on your mission, that has helped you navigate this life now?
Okay, so where did I serve? Initially, I was called to the Kenya Nairobi mission.
Naongea
So
Swahili.
that yes, naongea. So I know it used to cover two countries, Tanzania and Kenya, but I think now Tanzania has its own mission. So I was called to serve in April 2019, right? And I stayed in my mission for about 11 months, if I'm not mistaken. 11 months. And then March 2020, that's when COVID hit and we had to come to South Africa. And then I completed 7 months, the remaining 7 months of my mission in the South Africa Johannesburg mission. Yeah. So I basically served in like three countries.
Ooh, that's low-key a flex. And what's something that you've learned from those countries?
Sorry?
Something that you've learned from those countries.
Something that I have learned. Okay. Firstly, mission in general, I think it really has taught me, it has prepared me actually for the married life. Because, you think you know your partner that you're married to, but you're yet to find out who they really are. And mission has taught me to have an open mind, lower my expectations of people and be open to correction as well. So those are the things that I've taken out of having a companion, of being in a foreign place that I'm using in my marriage. Yeah. And what have I learned from these countries? People are amazing. I think the Tanzanian nation, those people, they touch my heart so much. And not let South Africans, but you know our people, you know how we are, man. We're not as, I don't know, we just, yeah, but Tanzanians, very kind, very welcoming. You'd get to their home and the first thing they say is welcome, get you drinks, get you water, whatever they can afford to give you, We don't have that here at home. We're not all, I'm not saying the whole of South Africa is like that, but just, we're missing that element of being so welcoming to one another. And that's what I've gotten from the other countries.
That's really solid, Jim.
Yeah, it is. I think one thing I used to think it doesn't really matter where you're called, but one thing that I've learned is it definitely does matter where you're called, because sometimes even if you're not called to a place, you're called maybe to a mission president, you're called to be with certain companions, you're called to meet certain people, right? And to learn certain principles. And where would you have learned that humility had you not gone maybe to a foreign country like Tanzania, where the people are very humble? You said something that really sparked my interest. You said is to lower your expectations of people. Can you elaborate on that? What you mean by that?
Okay. So, what can I say? So as people, I think in general, we always go into a relationship having certain expectations of it. Okay. I expect you, Mau, to be a member of the church. I expect you to be reading your scriptures, to be praying every day. I expect you to have your life in order. be a gentleman because you have the priesthood, you know? So these are the things, or any other expectations that we have. And then you meet someone and they're the complete opposite of what you thought they were, simply because we are people and we have weaknesses. And that is why we are still living on this earth, because God knows that, yeah, you need work to be, you need to do some work to improve yourself, you know? So mission, I expected friendly, you know, companions that will welcome me with open arms and love me for who I am, look past my weaknesses, you know, and all of that. But I got the complete opposite, you know, and I learned with you, okay, people are imperfect and we need to love each other beyond those imperfections. And that is when you'll be able to help someone to improve themselves. Because that's what I believe we are here on earth to do. Like you said, you're sent to a mission president, you're sent to a certain companion so that you can learn or that you can help that person. So yeah, lowered my expectations of people, even in my marriage, lowered my expectations of what I want him to be, and learn who he is and see what I can do to make the relationship work.
Okay. So wouldn't that, I guess I want to ask on that lowering expectations. What does that have to do with, is there a conversation between, or a relation between lower expectations and standards? You know, is there a lower standards as well? Or I don't know. What does that look like then for you when you lowered your expectations?
Okay, very good, very interesting question. So I think when it comes to lowering your standards, hey, that's a no-no. Okay, so I mean, yes, okay, let's set a standard. For example, the standard is to pray every day and read your scriptures, right? Relationship with a person, companion, husband, whatever, and they're not doing that. So I've lowered my expectation that you might not do it, but the standard is we have to read our scriptures and we have to pray every day. That remains the standard. So what do? We work towards getting there. My expectation was that I would like you to read it, but okay, maybe she doesn't read, but the standard is this. Let's not forget that. My relationship with my sister, for example, we never always read our scriptures. We never always prayed every day. But because we knew that was the standard, we worked towards it together, right? Holding each other accountable. Saying, okay, did you read today? Oh, I didn't. Okay, did you pray today? Okay, let's try again tomorrow. You know, the standard always stays the same. Expectations might be low, but we work towards the standard.
So standards like a goal, essentially, that this is what I see myself and my future spouse doing. So should that determine whether you start a relationship or not? Because that's what it sounds like, that maybe not.
Hey, Jeremy, can you please ask it again?
Sorry. What I was saying is,
yes.
yeah.
Slow learner, Jeremy, slow learner. Take it easy. I'm a slow learner.
No problem. So it sounds like the standards is similar to like a goal. That this is what you would like for your relationship to be like in the future with your spouse, of course, for when in the time period when you're dating, and in your own life. So how does that look then when it comes to starting dating? Because now you have a standard, and the person's not meeting it. And you did mention that you had to lower the expectation that this person might not be doing it. Now, is there a limit to the dating where you're saying, okay, this person's not praying, but this person's praying more? I don't know. How does that look then when you're starting to date?
Okay, so when you're starting to, very tricky, you know, because when you're starting to date, I think we are very judgmental when we start, you know. And of course, if I see Jeremy's not reading his scriptures, I might make a quick judgment and be like, I can't continue with this guy, you know. So standards they play a huge role. And I think when it comes to dating, put your best foot forward, you know? If I'm not ready, I pray or something, you know, like I need to put my best foot forward so that you can be interested in me. And then you find out that I like in other standards later. Standards, they matter a lot and they could make or break the very beginning of the relationship because we are very quick to judge, especially there.
Okay. I think that's wonderful counsel for anybody who's looking to go into a relationship. And anybody who is waiting to be approached. You know, there are people who are waiting for the brethren to act.
Yes, we must wait.
So I guess that's a very great standard. And I'm really curious because I sense a lot of wisdom, right, that you've gained, whether that is through the years, right, whether that is through experience. Maybe you've been privileged to date a lot of people, or maybe you've had friends who dated a lot, or maybe you just studied a lot, right? Wherever the experience comes from, it comes from somewhere, right? I'm interested to know where you've gained all this experience, right? Your background. I think you mentioned your sister as well, and you guys studying the scriptures. Where's Naledi from, right? What even made you decide to go and serve the Lord, take 18 months of your life and do that instead of maybe finishing your studies or something else? You know, what made you even decide to add the state of your life, right? Just tell us a little bit about your background. What has made you you?
Very, very touchy question. But yeah. So where do I come from? I come from a family of it's complicated. So I grew up with my grandparents, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, and my sister living in one household, a family house. Never met my father, never knew him, was never part of my life. My family joined the church when I was like 3 months. So they joined the church in 1997. And we've been members ever since, right? And then my mother got married. The marriage didn't work out. And so for the past, let me see, 4 years, it's just been me. My mother passed away, aunties got married, uncle chose a different lifestyle, you know? So that family house broke down. Everybody went their separate ways.
Sure.
And now it's just me, my mom, and my sister. What made me the experience that or the life lessons that I have, I've gained a lot by watching other people. So I might not have experienced it, but I have seen it, especially in my own family, right? What made me decide to go and serve a mission is just I've always loved the missionaries. This sounds like, oh, it looks like something very nice to do. You know, it was never that, you know how people have like a very nice conversion story and the light shone upon them and they knew that they must serve a mission. I was just like, this is nice. I want to be a missionary, you know? And I want to share the gospel. That's all I knew. And then obviously I got my patriarchal blessing. So a patriarchal blessing, I don't know if you want me to explain, it's like a blessing you get from a patriarch who is called, and I got my patriarchal blessing and it said, very simple sentence, it says, you will share the gospel that you love so much. And I was like, of course I love the gospel. Of course I'm going to share the gospel. But I didn't know that it means that I would go on a mission and serve and share the gospel. So yeah, I just wanted to go and serve and I did that. Yeah, that is me. That is me. You can ask a question and then I can give an answer because I know I give you a summary, which is like my greatest weakness. I give summaries.
No, I do want to ask a follow-up, but I'm just scared Jeremy has one that is better. But if you do, Jeremy, you'll ask it. My follow-up is because you mentioned a lot of the lessons, you learned through experience, but you also learned through watching other people. And the thought that came to my mind was mentorship, right? having people to look up to, having mentors. How important do you feel mentorship is when it comes to, for example, young women in your ward right now, who look up to someone like you know, who's a couple of years older, and the decisions they're making? Do you feel like it's important for you to make and live a certain way because people are watching? Or do you have maybe some sort of, I don't really care about what people have to say about me type attitude? How important do you feel mentorship is when it comes to yourself being that mentor?
Question. I really believe that mentorship is a very good program, not a program, but a very, what's the word, Mao? It's a good thing to have,
Yes.
or to,
It
yes.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So you know, I've had a mentor once in my life. Horrible experience, you know. And I thought to myself, never thing ever again. You know, I will figure out life with me and God. Don't want nobody to help me, you know. And I have a weakness mentality that we are not perfect. So if I want someone to guide me, I think I'll go to someone that knows it all. And for me, that's God. And it's not the best mentality to have, because people have experience and they can share and they can help you. I've avoided a lot of like creating relationships with people who can mentor or who can help me. And also that stems from the thing where I'm scared that I might fail and disappoint my mentor. You know, my sister likes to say to me, "You're so scared of failure." You know, I am scared that I'm going to fail. And how is he going to look at me? He's going to think I'm useless and all of that. So that also contributes to me keeping away from having a mentor. But I really believe in being an example. I didn't know until I decided to get married, and they did like a surprise bridal shower. And, you know, people were just talking about me and how they met me and what they think of me. And I was like, your people have something to say about you. You know, people are watching what you are doing.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful that people would describe me as, she's very humble. I'm like, these ones, they don't know me. But, you know, I mean, if more than one person says she's a humble person, she's probably what you are and who you are, because that's what they see, you know. So I really believe in being an example. We have to live our lives in a way that we are inspiring other people. You know, it's I think there's a lot of influence in the world. Whether you like it or not, you are going to influence someone. So rather influence them the best way you can. Yeah.
It's funny enough. I think, like, you said that you like to be an example, but you struggled with a mentor, and I'm like, I don't know how that works. You know, because technically you're okay with being the mentor, but you can't take one. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, that's how she works. Cool. The part I loved about what you were saying, or not loved, but I want to grab from, because I had the experience of it today, is when you said that you don't like failing, right? I guess you're partially a perfectionist to some extent. I don't know. I was talking to, there was a missionary, one of the missionaries today, you know, came to me and was like, okay, Brother Chagadama, you know, can I speak to you? I'm like, sweet. And he started speaking about how he asked so many questions in class because he feels so unsure about himself and mission. And just in that, I was like, okay, cool, understandable. But I love your questions. And so he says that I just get so frustrated when I don't get my questions answered, or everyone puts them off, or everyone's like, oh, not me again, not him again, because I'm just trying to do my best and be better and things like that. I'm trying to learn, you know. So, and then, you know, he began to cry and stuff, and we just talked about it. But by the end of it, you know, he came to tell myself and the companion teacher that my family don't believe in failure. There's no such thing. I can't fail. And I said to him, well, that's a problem because you can't not fail. Failure is a part of the game. And then I began to teach the whole class, and I taught them about this concept that I learned from Simon Sinek about finite games and infinite games. That, you know, life is not about this transaction. Life is not about this thing that you're doing. I used the example of dating. I was like, well, brethren, we've all been rejected in the class. We're like, yeah, cool. Right? Did that rejection cause you to just like wallow up and die? They're like, nope. I was like, okay, cool. You're still here on a mission. You've tried to date girls, more girls after that. Cool. So therefore, it's not about that girl. Your life is not centered around that girl. The rejection that you receive is going to actually help you to move forward. Whether you will learn, maybe I should not approach girls like this, or maybe these kind of girls are not for me, or, you know, whatever lesson it is that you're going to get. And so we talked about that and how don't make finite rules for an infinite game, because life is an infinite game. We all have so much more to get. Failure is so much better than failure is better than success. And the only reason why it is because failure is a chance for you to learn. If you keep succeeding, then you're not going to learn. But the more you fail, the more you're able to say, okay, well, I can do this better next time. So I'm kind of going to that with you is because you don't like failure. So it might be an interesting topic for you. What has been something that kind of took you back in terms of failing and made it hard to come out of? And the reason I ask this is for the viewers and people who may be watching that might feel that the same way about they hate failure, they hate to fail, but to realize that it might not be as bad as people think. So what did that look like to you? What was a time when you kind of failed and were taken back, but were able to come out of that, I don't know, part or phase that you were in?
Mm-hmm. Very, very good. And you know, being intentionally going into a mentorship makes me scared, but being an example, when I know that you are watching, but you're not really watching, it's fine. I can do that. But if I take myself there, that's the problem.
Okay.
That's the problem. But yes, but you know what, Nam? I think I've always been you know how they say if you don't try, you'll never know. That's me. I'm scared to fail. Most of, let me see, from my primary life, let's say until high school, it's always been just steady, you know? Okay, you're passing at school, all right, you're okay. So I got used to that. I got used to the fact that, okay, I pass at school, all right? So now I need to go into university. That's something big now, okay? Okay, I go into university, all right, I pass and I graduate, right? Doing okay. And then I enter the workforce and I have no idea what I'm doing. You know, I get there are people that have experience, there are people that are doing way better than you, and you just keep failing at simple tasks, right? So this is where my fear grew even bigger in the workspace. I fail at simple tasks that I feel like I should be knowing how to do, and that makes me to pull back even more, you know? So for me, it's more of I'm scared to try because I'm scared I'm going to fail. But it is something I am learning to overcome. I am accepting that I am not perfect. For example, in my current job, right, they have weekly checkup meetings, one-on-ones. Okay, so they evaluate your teaching, basically. So obviously, it was horrible. I was horrible at what I was doing, and I just wanted to quit with immediate effect. Because every time I had a meeting, it was, Naledi, you're not doing this. Naledi, you're not doing this. You're not doing that. And I'm just like, what am I even doing? Let me just quit. You know, I'm scared. I'm failing, you know, and it completely destroyed me inside. But thanks to my sister is like my great advisor, and obviously learning how to communicate with Heavenly Father. And he's showing me that, no, if you don't know how to do a way to know how to do it. Okay. I love teaching. So why should I quit? Right. I love it. I'm not so good at it. So what can I do about it? Right. So this is what I'm learning as I'm growing. It's okay to fail. Like you said, Jeremy, that's how you learn. If you're always succeeding, my whole life, I've been passing school. I didn't learn anything. I didn't, I was just like, oh, okay, we pass at school. That's fine. But now that I've encountered a lot of failure, I am learning a lot.
Nice. Yeah,
I
I
I
like
had
that.
a follow-up from Jeremy's question. And I think we've touched pretty extensively on failure and maybe what that can prevent. Have there been other major decisions in your life you did not make because you were scared of failure? Maybe you wanted to start a business when you were younger and you never started that business because you were scared of failing. I'm just using that as an example, but have there been other failures that maybe you can think, or not failures, have there ever been other major decisions you wanted to take but were scared to take because you feared, I might fail in this and I don't think I want to do that if there's that possibility.
By her face earlier on, it sounded like you struck a nerve.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that's a deep question, when I think about it, because on the business side, so I my sister and I, COVID hit. My sister lost a job. I couldn't get a job. Things were bad, right? And so we thought, my sister's like, let's start a business. Let's sell chips, right? Fried chips. And so it was very easy for me to go into it with her because, I'm not alone, it's like I can blame, or not really blame, but like I can share the pain of failing with someone, So the business didn't work out. So we failed at the business.
Okay.
And I thought to myself again, when I was still struggling to find employment, I thought, no, man, maybe I should start something of my own, right? And I have ideas, but I've never implemented them. I am still scared. All right. So that's the business side of it. Now there was the marriage side of it. Okay. Big decision to make. I think for me, it's, that we make decisions in life, but a decision to get married in the temple with the power of the priesthood for time and all eternity, that is a decision to make. And I mean, employment, I can change jobs, I can get another job. I can dating, they can dump me, I'll find another one. Um, and my fear of making this decision was surrounded by my experiences. Okay. Like I shared earlier, never met my father, never knew him. My sister has her own father. They never got married with my mom. So you understand that my mentality towards marriage is horrible. It doesn't work. People very close to me, their marriages are not working. Okay, it's very bad. And if the marriage is working, I mean, if you're still in the marriage, you're just hanging in there, situation is bad. So I was just like, ain't no way. And I'm not talking about friends, I'm talking about family that I live with, very close to me. I'm like, ain't no way I'm getting married. But something inside me was just like, girl, you have to get married. There was just this sweet thought about marriage that I've always held in my heart, regardless of what I've seen and experienced. And so I decided to get married despite the fear. And I did share that fear with my husband. I told him, Rio, sometimes I feel like I'm going in with just one foot in this marriage. And he's like, but I'm all in the marriage, and I appreciate the fact where I was coming from. And I told him, I am going to be all in. It's just going to take time because of what I know and what I've experienced. So yeah, that's one decision that I was scared to take, but I took it.
Were you proud of you for doing such amazing things? Jeremy, do you have one in there? Or can I slot one in?
Slot one in, brother.
Okay. So tell us about Uhabi, all right? Obviously we're gonna come to him. How did you guys meet? What made you decide that he was the one? And all these other guys that are sliding in DMs and that are trying to, you know, what made you decide, okay, those guys are not it, but this man, he's the one that's my eternal companion.
Mau, there were no other guys sliding the DMs.
Is that so?
I was never that girl, you know. I believe that people would not. I was like, people never asked me out. I was just there, you know.
How?
I just existed, guys.
I don't know if I believe that, but okay. Okay.
Never believe it.
I swear, I just existed. So where did I meet him? Okay, I met him. Mau, you know this. I met him on mission, Jeremy. Don't judge. I met him on mission. So we were we were in the same district, and he was called as my district leader, and that was how I met him. Obviously, I saw him, and I was just like, another missionary. Found out he was from Eastern Cape. I was like, even worse. We're never gonna meet again. So, completely wrote him off, continued with our missions, and one day he decided to slide into my DMs on Facebook.
Amen.
And that's how we started talking. Last 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, where we started just talking. And we continued to talk after. So he left for his mission and left me still serving. I think I had 12 weeks. Yeah, I was 12 weeks remaining, and then he went home. And what made me decide that he was the one? So for example, very interesting. While we were on mission, right? So the mission rule is that we only talk to family and friends on Monday, right? And until a certain time, which was 6 p.m., if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So the first time he slid into my DMs was a Monday. And I was like, okay, it's a Monday. I can talk to other people. Okay. So I responded. And that very Monday, he was like, okay, cool. See you at our district council or whatever. And I'm like, huh? Okay, cool. Bye. And then the whole week, we never spoke, It was very easy for me to be able to text him on the side and be like, hey, Elder, how's the day going?
Right.
But I never did that, and he never did that to me. The next Monday, he texts again, and conversation ends at 6. And I'm like, hey, man, hey, this guy, he's got
Obedience.
see, this is the one I want,
Mm.
He was so obedient, guys. I'm not saying he was perfect. Obviously, there are things he did which were, bending the rules and whatever. But there was some things, maybe he was putting his best foot forward, trying to impress
Which
us.
one? Which wins? Which is the council?
So that really impressed me on how he respected his mission, number one, and respected the fact that I was also on a mission. When he went home, he never texted also during the week. We kept it like that. Consistency was another thing. He's very consistent. And I think as people, we all have a different love language or whatever they call it, things that attract you to people. And one of them for me is consistency. You have to be consistent with what you're doing. If I see no consistency, it's over. Bye-bye. We're not going to talk again. If you text me today and text me Friday again, I'm not going to respond. It's over, So he was a very consistent man, and I was like, I like this. And then I took a trip to Eastern Cape to come and see him. And that's when it confirmed everything for me, because there I saw how he treated his mom, how he treated his people, his neighbors, the people that he goes to church with. And I was like, I want a part of that treatment. That is what I want also,
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, I think this is the kind of person I'm looking for. Very scared because I know that people change, we grow, we're dynamic. Sometimes you are this person. This is what I want.
Man, Mao asked the right question. I thought of this question like very early on in the day. I was like, oh, we're gonna talk to Sister Naledi today. And she just got married. So I could probably ask her that question. And there, boo, Mao asks it as it slipped my mind. I'm just glad that it came. Because I think I love this story because of it didn't, I don't know. I think I tend to hear a lot of stories where it depended on you as the individual, where you were looking and it depended on how you felt and things like that. But I guess you're also saying how there were things that he was doing that agreed with what you wanted. And like you said, is he treated people around him like his mother and friends and other family, right? And I wanted that. Then the obedience on his mission, seeing just these small things, the obedience and respect, I want to say, because obedience on his part and the respect of you. I also really admire that and really think that, how many missionaries, don't exactly have that respect. Yes, they're trying to be obedient, but they think they're trying to get you. So they'll do anything and everything to get you instead of respecting the Lord as well, what he expects of us. So I really admire that and really respect that. And I mean, I don't doubt that there might be some changes that'll happen throughout your lives, but that's between you and him. It'll never be other people. Yes, you're a family, but yeah, I don't know. Family members don't really matter as much, as much as your marriage. And that might be very controversial. So I guess that's where my question is going to go next, is to how much does family matter within your marriage, to you?
Very deep. Mao, I need help here. It's only been a week. That's deep. Yo, I once, was it a talk or what was it? I don't know what it was. I don't know where I read it, but the person that was speaking said that what is most important, like you say, Jeremy, is the husband and the wife, is the immediate family, husband, wife, and your children, right? It is very well, and it's a blessing to have the mothers and the fathers and the aunts and the uncles supporting you, but they are not your first point of reference in your marriage, So I think I've always had that mentality, and I see its importance. Family is very important to me. They support the marriage. They might think it won't work, for whatever reason. They might have their own reasons why they feel that, but I appreciated that they supported my decision and they supported his decision to get married. I do not, like I said, I'm not going to make friends in my marriage, even my own mother, because I know how she feels about me, and she will protect me at all costs, so I'm not going to make her my first point of reference. But yeah, family is very important for the support that they give, and their support has been, it's been a lot, guys. Blessings upon blessings, I mean, Leander and I, we are starting from scratch, from zero, we are starting from the bottom, but the support we have had from our families, it's like from the middle. People came through for us, came through for us, with help of all sorts, and that has just been an amazing support that we've had. But I keep them at a distance because we're trying to figure this out together, with God, of course, being the main person that we communicate with.
That's beautiful.
Well, this is beautiful, man. I think, Jeremy, what do you think?
Really well.
Yeah, no, this is this is wonderful. And I think especially with your last statement that you guys are starting from the bottom, I feel like a lot of people, particularly females, I think guys are maybe not actually. Maybe I was gonna speak blasphemy right now because I was gonna say maybe guys are okay to start with from the bottom. But I know a lot of females maybe aren't as true. I've learned that that's not true because I've met a lot of brethren who do not want to, for example, you find out, okay, have you met the right person? Yes. Do you love her? Yes. Is she temple worthy? Are you temple worthy? Yes, all of the above. Why aren't you getting married? Ish, well, I don't have money, or I don't have this and I don't have that. Okay, so when do you think? I don't know, but I'm still working towards those things. And it almost feels like we as men sometimes have these preconceived notions that the sisters want all these things. Whereas, of course, you do want comfort, but you're willing to work towards it. Like you're willing to wait for it. It's not that you're not waiting for me to have a mansion first to then come in, right? But I think a lot of the guys sometimes have the mentality of, she's not gonna want me. She knows I only and I only have 2,000 rand to my name. Maybe those are extreme examples. I don't know. But so I guess it's not true because I was gonna say I think maybe a lot of girls don't want to, but maybe it is true. I mean, I have colleagues who say, better have money. A guy better has money. What's your view? You have friends. I'm gonna ask something about friendships soon. You have friends. You have sisters. What's the view when you look around you from the female perspective when it comes to a guy and their readiness for marriage? Are guys usually receptive or are they usually ready to take the next step? And are females, do they want certain things before they can look at a guy or not really? Just your general observation.
Okay. Yeah. You said those are extreme examples. They are a reality, actually.
Okay.
They are such a reality. Um, generally, I think it's quite hard for the men because we come from different kinds of families. There's the aspect of ilobola, there's the aspect of will you be able to take care of our daughter, So I'm not going to go into it, but there are those aspects that maybe run in their heads that make them say, I'm not yet ready because of finances. That is exactly what happened with Uluyanda. We didn't pay lobola at all. Families almost blew up the house. Guys, it was drama, guns blazing.
How could you do this?
It was guns blazing, guys. Our families are so cultural and everything. And me, I'm just like, I'm getting married,
That's it.
So that's it, my guy. I'm getting married. So, hey guys, finances are a huge factor. And for girls, yes, it's also a factor because you really want to be taken care of. Luyanda knows from the first day he met me or he started talking to mom and working, I know. No, thank you. I prefer my husband to take care of it all. I'll take care of the house and the kids and do everything else for you. That's what I wanted. But yeah, the realities of life will kick in and you have to help and support. So it was a very big factor, the financial support and stability. But you know what happened? My stake president was interviewing me for my temple seal. Asked me a question. He says, do you think that this man will be able to provide for you? And then he says, I don't mean financially. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? And he says, do you think he's going to be able to protect you, provide protection? Is he going to be able to provide to your emotions? To take care of every other thing that of your finances? You know what I thought? At the end of the day, Mau, like you said, we're going to get comfortable. You're going to get a job. We're going to be able to buy the things that we want somewhere along the line. that does not matter. Will he be able to take care of you as a person is what matters. And I think we all miss that point when we are trying, or while we're still dating, working our way towards getting married, because money is just, it's put there right in front of us. You need to have a home, eat.
Yeah.
And those are the physical things that we see first. But there are things that matter more than that.
Sure.
Okay, and Jeremy, before you jump in, and do you feel like your friends or the people you're looking around you are more hesitant, or do you feel like they're more receptive? Do you feel like they have the same perspective that you have, for example?
50-50.
Okay.
I have some friends that are just like, yeah,
Yeah.
and I have some friends that are getting married into a moneyed family or whatever, and they're just like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be and everything. And I'm quite worried. I have my own worries, but it's okay. We all make decisions. And then there are other friends that are just like me, who are like, other things matter also.
Yeah. So here's my last question for you. You have long since returned from your mission. 2020 is a long time ago. And you've been at this point after, the 4 years, almost 4 years, I guess, in October, of you being home, and you've gone through your experiences with friends, family, all these learnings and things that you've told us about, and now into this new marriage that you've just entered into. You are at this point today. I ask you this question of what now? How are you moving forward with everything that you've learned, everything that you've become? What are we striving for now?
Okay. I'll try and answer that. um, after getting sealed, and we came to the place where we're staying, I had a feeling of, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it was a feeling of, it's done, so I was like, this feeling, I've never felt that before. I get into a new job and I'm like, oh, I am ready for my next job. I choose a course to study and I'm like, I am ready to choose the next course, but I did this and I had a very calm and distinct feeling that it was done. And for me, I feel like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's the first time I'm feeling, good. And so what now? I am going to trust in the Lord to move me forward. One thing about this, it is so new. We don't know what we're doing half the time. He said to me the other day, we had a little challenge already in a week. And he says to me, we're just newlyweds. We're going to figure it out, So moving forward, I am I am trusting God to help me. I am learning to rely even and what I've experienced. So yes, that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
And there was a beautiful note to end it on. Man, Naledi, we want to thank you so much for coming through, and just for your calming spirit, your wisdom, your insights into life and how to navigate this. Jeremy and I always reflect on this platform and what it has allowed us to do, who it has allowed with, and every time without fail, we leave feeling, you know what, that was great. We're happy we did this, and
Very
even
true.
for yourself, we're so thankful that you have decided to sit with us and just give us a bit of wisdom. I think we'll be a bit better. I'll try to be a bit better in my marriage as well. Yeah, I wanted to slip in another question there, but it's fine. I'll slip that question for part 2. I wanted to ask about friendships, but we'll reserve that for part 2 because we want you to come back. want you to come back. So so we'll do a part 2 in the future. All right. Maybe once you hit year 1 in marriage or year 2, we don't know. All right. Your husband is also a returned missionary. He might also get ambushed by us.
Oh.
Ambush. I give you permission.
No, but we love you. We love you. We love your family. Leanne is an amazing guy. I can say that here without hesitation. He is just a humble man. And yeah, Jeremy, do you have any closing remarks?
On my side, it's been just a beautiful session. I just have, I don't know, I do every time. Sorry. Every time we have certain conversations, it's just been like, I just don't know how to react or what to say, because, you know, neither am I in your position. You know, I guess that's why I have such a brilliant co-host who knows what marriage feels like. You know, I'm just out here in the wilderness trying to get along. You know, it's just getting to hear from my perspective what to look at, you know, especially from a woman's perspective, is the craziest part to me. Hearing what does the woman say, or what do women say, you know, for these things. And so I love it, and I'm just super grateful to have you to be on the podcast with us. I think that's also something that we've been getting a lot of people say, that why don't you have sisters? We're like, okay, here they are. Let's see what they have to say, you know? So I am super grateful that you took up the challenge, and we love it. We love you for being here.
Thank you. Can I just say something quickly before you guys close? Thank you, first of all, for having me. I didn't know what to expect. You know, I'm gonna say, guys, I do so bad in interviews. You know, when you have to answer on the spot, I'm just like, yeah. But anyway, I must say that since the interview began, every time you would ask me a question, I'd get emotional. I'm so glad you can't see like the tears in my eyes on the screen, but like I'd hold back tears because your question would cause me to reflect on certain parts of my life that I might have decided just to forget, or, you know. But it's been a great experience to be able to open up just a little bit. And you guys are doing such an amazing job. I watch your videos, not all of them. When I get time, I watch them. Shame, I must learn to like and comment.
Yes, please, and subscribe.
Please.
Did I subscribe? I think I did. I'll check. I need to learn to like and comment. I know I have to do this. But you guys are doing such an amazing job, and the spirit that you carry is felt even through, like, you know, the Zoom call. So thank you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. One question we forgot to ask, which we always ask all of our guests, is what advice do you have for the next young adult who's navigating this life thing? What can they do? I'm confused. I'm sitting at home. I don't know what to do with my life. Where do I start? What do I do?
You know, I've said that a great example as well to me. She lost her job 2020, COVID. She hasn't worked till today. And the one thing I have learned from just observing her, she stays humble and she trusts in the Lord. You know, those are very vague or common words to use now. But when you are able to practice that, when you're able to stay calm and just stay calm, you know, life is hectic, guys. It's a turmoil, it's a whirlwind. There's so much that's happening in this day and age. It's the express it, it's the pits, it's hard, but stay calm and trust in the Lord. He is yet to do amazing things for you, things that you wouldn't have been able to do for yourself.
Thank you so much, Naledi. Guys, we're out of here. We love you. Like Naledi said, she will do. Like, subscribe, comment. All right? We're out of here.